Hello students, welcome back. Today we're going to start with Unit 2, Lesson 1, Translating Expressions. This is part 2 of a rather large unit that we decided to split up into two parts, still dealing with some of your algebra basics. So Unit 2, Lesson 1, Translating Expressions. Our learning objective is students will be able to translate verbal expressions into algebraic expressions. Now, I want to go ahead and let you know there are lots of notes that you're going to need to get for this particular video. There are lots of terms that we'll be using for the next several videos and a lot of the activities in this particular unit. So you need to pay special note, take good notes, pay special attention to them, and you'll probably need to stop the video a couple of times to write down these lists so that you'll be able to refer back to them for the activities. So let's start with our keywords and phrases for addition. Excuse me. So the keywords and phrases that'll tell you that we have addition in the problem are sum, total, plus, increased by, and more than. Keywords and phrases for subtraction: difference, minus, decreased by, less than, and subtracted from. Notice that less than and subtracted from have stars on them. That's going to become clear why we have those marked differently in just a few moments. Keywords and phrases for multiplication: times, product, of, twice, double, and triple. Keywords and phrases for division: quotient, separate, divided by, half, or third. Now, these are keywords and phrases that tell you that you're going to need to put parentheses in the problem. Times the sum of, times the difference of, or the difference between. Notice what we have in quotes there. Keywords and phrases: these are what we call our turnaround phrases, which is going to allude back to what we had with the stars for the subtraction. We see less than and subtracted from again. Now, for these phrases, the parts of the expression are reversed when they're translated into an algebraic expression. We'll have some examples specifically for this particular part, and the examples will make it a bit clearer. So just think about this: when you see less than and subtracted from, you're going to swap the order of what you see in the actual verbal expression. Now for some examples. Our directions are to translate each expression or equation. So if we look at the product of a number and 3. So what are the key words here? Product of. So product of tells me to do what? What operation is product of? Well, I think that operation is multiplication. So we're going to multiply a number and 3. All right, so when we do that, we're going to write 3 in, because typically we put the coefficient in front of the variable. We saw that in one of our videos in Unit 1. Let's look at another example. 4 subtracted from a number. Subtracted from, okay? Subtracted from is kind of like less than. It seems like that's going to be one of our turnaround phrases, so we need to pay special attention. And then when we write it, so note, this is also a turnaround phrase. This means that the order of the terms in the verbal expression is opposite of what they'll be in the algebraic. So even though 4 came first, when we write it in the algebraic expression, it's going to be at the end. Notice we have the number subtracting off the value of 4. So 4 is subtracted from the original number. Further example: the sum of twice a number and 7. So what are our key words? Sum of and twice. So sum of implies addition, twice implies multiplication. All right, so not only is it multiplication, it's multiplication by 2. Sum of is also a parentheses phrase. So we're going to have something in parentheses here. We have some adding going on and some multiplying. So you can see we can have quite a few layers as we're working through these problems. So we're going to have 2n, the sum of twice a number, so that's the 2n, and 7. Okay, so final example: twice a number divided by 5. What are the key words? Twice and divided by. All right, so what operation should we use? Twice implies multiplication by 2. Divided by implies division. So we have 2n divided by 5. All right, so we have some examples. We've looked at 4 of them, and you have your list. It's going to be very important in the future videos. We're going to use those lists for the next 2 videos and probably a few more after that. So make sure you keep the list handy and go ahead and get started with your practice.